capital gains now with an exclamation mark. I want to talk to you about how you can Spendthrift Trust can save you so much money. Now, a little bit of history. I am a real estate investor and also a crypto investor, and a little bit in dividends. So back in October of 2018, my parents drove from Arizona to North Carolina for my nephew's wedding. Along the way, my mom got sick. She got septic of the blood. She was in the hospital on a ventilator for 13 months, in the hospital for 15 months. I was living in Phoenix 3 days a week. I would go to their house, do their mail. And in December, I can remember exactly what I was wearing, and I can remember the gentleman who went around the corner in a horrible plaid golf shirt when I opened up my mom's Medicare bill. It was her Medicare statement. It was 27 pages, folded in half, and when you open it up in big, bold black letters, it said for 1 month in the hospital on a ventilator, her bill was $172,000. Wow. Now, my dad was a retired military officer. They had TRICARE for life. She got the best care possible. I'm standing in their kitchen. At the time, I was a Medicare broker. I was working on commission and salary. I had credit card debt. I had student loan debt. I had 2 car payments. My brand new car, 3 weeks old, I went through on a green light. A guy ran a red light. He T-boned me, had no insurance. Guess who had to pay 2 car payments? So I called my friend Glenn, who was a real estate investor, and he says, hey, next week we're going to have a party, Saturday night at this place. I knew Glenn and his wife. He goes, we're going to be a little bit late. We have a Christmas pageant to go to, but just go and enjoy yourself. Whew. Walking into a party where you know nobody, that was one of the best decisions I ever made. So fast forward, by the way, my mom got better. She came home. She just lost 13 months of her memory. So I'm a real estate investor. I'm doing quite well with my real estate investing. And in July of 2020, I took down a bank-owned reverse mortgage house in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. That's an hour east of Raleigh. My brother and family live just outside of Charlotte. I'm living in Phoenix, and the neat thing about it was $20,000, and when it would go to auction, it would go for $50,000. So I have a spread of $30,000. Woohoo! Well, middle of COVID, I had to wait 13 months, and so I got curious because I knew capital gains, short-term capital gains, are 23.8%, and I didn't want to pay $7,100. In my real estate group, there is a gentleman who teaches. His name is Garrett Gunderson. He has a book called What the Rockefellers Do. He had to change the title. It's now called What the Billionaires Do. I had read it before I joined the group, and I went back and I went through it. My background, I'm a competitive intelligence and insurance broker, so I know how to research things. I went through it all, and I found the law firm, called people, Googled people, did things like this. I found the law firm, became a client of theirs, and then started teaching a mastermind in my real estate group. When it finally did go to auction, August 28th of 2021, the house went from $50,000 up to $64,000. Woohoo! Sally's making some money. I got to save $10,550 in capital gains on that one deal. So hence my podcast is called Stop Paying Capital Gains Now. But the Spendthrift Trust is so much more than that. So that's what I want to go over. Now, 97% of the trusts in the United States are what's called a family trust. This is to avoid going through probate when someone dies and then they dissolve and all the money gets separated into all the heirs. My parents had that. That's what Susie Orman talks about on TV. This is not your mom and dad's trust. This trust is legal, it's patented, and it's in the IRS Tax Code. If you want to look this up, it's 643B like Bravo, 643B like Bravo. Now, the trust, the Spendthrift Trust, that full name, so you have it all, it's irrevocable, complex, discretionary, non-grantor, Spendthrift Trust. Irrevocable, goes from generation to generation. Complex, it can hold money day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year, decade to decade. Irrevocable, complex, discretionary. Whoever is a trustee or trustees can make the rules for the beneficiaries if they want to. I don't do anything like that. I have, it's my family. They're good people. Fourth one, non-grantor. This makes it completely private. Somebody who's not a beneficiary and someone you don't invest with is going to sign up for the trust and sign away from the trust. You will need their social security number to do this. I asked a family friend, Roy, he was 87. I started with both the business trust and the beneficial trust, so he had to sign his name 17 times. It was not a good decision. He had arthritis of his hands. We joked about it. I took him to lunch. But if you can't find someone to do this, I can do it for you, or somebody from the law firm, free of charge. We do it all the time. And then the fifth element is spendthrift. This has the Spendthrift Trust has gone in front of the U.S. Supreme Court twice. Both times the Supreme Court has honored it, or has favored it with the Spendthrift Trust. It can enter any contract and do business on its behalf. So you can't get much more legal than this. It's in the IRS Tax Code. It's in the U.S. Supreme Court. This comes from England, way back when King Henry VIII started the Church of England. He went to go tax the lords and ladies of England, and they went even further back in history to the Magna Carta. This is contract law from England. It came over before it was the United States. The law firm I work on behalf of, that they have a trust that is turning 350 years old in 2023. So this is a major trust. With this trust, you're going to save federal taxes. You're going to keep your information 100% private, and you're going to pay no judgments if you get sued. Unfortunately, I can't help you from being sued, but you're going to not pay the judgment on that. Also, it does take care of going through probate, just like the mom and dad's trust, but it's more expensive because you get to save so much more. So overall, the topic is Spendthrift Trust. I do split it into two. The business trust is for 1099 income earners. I don't care if you're a real estate agent, if you're an affiliate marketer, if you are an MLM marketer, if you're a salesperson. I run 3 businesses, 1099 income, through my business trust, and I save 70% of my federal taxes year after year after year after year. It's massive. If you're paying too much in federal taxes, this is a way to save this. So again, because this is irrevocable, it goes from generation to generation to generation. The Rockefellers and U.S. presidents have this trust. The Rockefellers trust is 7 generations old and almost 400 people under the one trust. So the business trust, 1099 income. The beneficial trust is for investors. I don't care what kind of investor you are. A passive investor, a real estate investor, crypto investor, stock market investor, options trading, forex trading, whatever you're doing, you're going to save the following taxes year after year after year. Short-term capital gains and long-term capital gains. Short-term capital gains are a year or less, and they're 23.8%. That was my auction house. Long-term capital gains is people selling businesses. I just had a conversation with a gentleman. He is an ophthalmologist. He is selling his clinic for $5 million. We know he's either going to pay 15% or 20%. So get ready for this. If he's going to pay 15% in capital gains, he's going to save $750,000. That's 6 figures. That's quite a bit of money. If he has to pay 20% or would pay 20%, he would save $1 million, a cool $1 million in long-term capital gains. His question to me is like, why wouldn't I do this? My question is, why wouldn't you? So that's long-term capital gains. It's going to save you interest income. If you're a passive investor, if you are a forex investor, by the way, forex investors, you get taxed twice, passive income and capital gains. If you're doing the BRRRR strategy, I do notes where I'm the paper on the house and people pay me their mortgage. That's interest income. If you're in a REIT, most real estate investment trusts, most REITs pay interest income. If you're in a stock market, dividend income, do options trading, stock market trading, futures trading, day trading, anything like that, you're going to save dividend income. Rental income. If you have short-term rental like Airbnb or renting to students, or long-term rental, holding single-family homes or multifamily homes. Yes, you can do depreciation, but you're still going to save keep your information private, and you're not going to pay any judgments. And then last but not least, royalties. Royalties are an author, an artist, an actor, an actress, a songwriter, a musician. Also, NFT world, NFT artwork, NFT crypto, NFT real estate. All of that is going to be deferred. Now, when I'm talking about interest income, dividend income, rental income, and royalties, I do not know what your tax bracket is. There's 7 different layers that the U.S. government charges you. For the first 3, interest income, dividend income, and rental income, it's between 10% to 37%. Whatever your target is, that's what you're going to say. With royalties, it's a little bit less. It's between 10% to 35%. That's still saving a ton of money. I have to apologize. I'm not bringing anybody on. I do Q&A at 8 p.m. on Monday nights. So sorry about that, whoever user is. So what's going to happen is you're going to save tons of taxes. You're going to keep your information 100% private. And then you're going to also save from not being sued, paying judgments if you're sued. True story. One of my clients has a house in Sierra Vista, Arizona. Beautiful A-frame house, all glass, and goes into the mountain out in the desert. He had a party when he bought it. Beautiful house. This was Memorial Day last year, Memorial Day 2022. He's up in Grand Rapids, taking care of a hoarder house, 7 huge dumpsters. He gets a text on his phone on Memorial Day saying, I just fell, my daughter's renting your house in Sierra Vista. I just fell, broke my wrist. I'm going to sue you for everything you have. I don't know how Airbnb gave her his cell phone number. He calls me going, Sally, what am I going to do? I'm like, Brandon, where's your trust booklet? Because he's from Phoenix. He's like, it's in the back of my Jeep. I'm like, oh, you travel with your trust booklet. I said, don't worry. Next day when the attorney contacts you, all you're going to do is send the first page of the trust back to the attorney. That's what he did. The lawsuit went away. Brandon was a curious individual. Brandon decided he was going to Google that lady. That lady, let's call it 6 months, 2022, from January 2022 to June of 2022, she had sued 8 different Airbnb hosts all over the West. San Francisco, Los Angeles, San Diego, Las Vegas, Phoenix, Sierra Vista, Tucson, saying she fell and broke her wrist. Her attorney's in on it and her doctor is in on it. She was making $100,000 per Airbnb host because that's what was happening. I don't wish her any ill will. I don't know how she sleeps at night, but that's keeping you from paying any judgments. Again, my name is Sally Gimmon. My website is thetrustisyou.com. And again, that's U-Y-O-U, thetrustisyou.com. My podcast is Stop Paying Capital Gains Now, with an exclamation mark. It's rather new. I only have 23 episodes out there, but I'm talking about actual clients. My clients won't come on to the podcast. They don't want their face to be seen, but I'm helping my clients save thousands of dollars. Most recent client, he sells light fixtures. I didn't know there was so much money in light fixtures, but he's making $10,000 a month in sales. He's a 1099 income employee. He's going to be saving over